Episode 4 of Dark Matter takes us on a universal journey of random door opening in hopes of returning home rather than ending up in Waterworld. So get your dose of Lavender Fairy ready as we aimlessly wander into everything in episode 4 of Dark Matter. This episode is all about Jason 1 and Amanda escaping Velocity Labs and trying to make their way through the confusing world of the multiverse and the box. Luckily, through Amanda and Jason's banter, we're able to discover more about the box and really how it works. First, the inner corridor of endless random doors is supposed to be a liminal space, the uncertain transition between where you've been and where you're going physically, emotionally, metaphorically, essentially a place between time and space, and in Dark Matter's case, it's the physical manifestation of their mind. This is why once a door handle, when opened, causes the box to return to its normal box form rather than its endless corridor. On top of this, Amanda and Jason's trial and errors, we learn that after the first dose of Lavender Fairy, the user and their brain chemistry gets used to it. Now, I'm not exactly sure how or why, because a normal tolerance building that quickly seems far-fetched. Most likely, it's opening the mind to greater mental capacity. This is obviously only a theory, though. However, we do learn that the box is a corridor to the multiverse, the infinite, never-ending hallway of things that can happen and will happen. The geological coordinates of the box actually never change, meaning it'll drop in the same location in every single world, which is a bit tricky because due to the box's magnetic properties, GPS and traditional compass may give off inaccurate readings. A prime example of this is the pair losing the box in the day after tomorrow world that they venture into. Multiple doors can be opened during a single Lavender Fairy session, and the doors will remain static. However, I don't really know how long one of these sessions lasts. I looked up what the novel claims to be these parameters, which is saying that the drug takes 30 minutes to actually work, and then the user has 60 minutes to open the doors. Now, here in the show, it is a bit different. It takes 3 minutes for the drugs to kick in, so what does that mean for the door opening time? Hopefully we find this out sooner rather than later. Also, what if they open 2 doors at once? Like, what would happen there? I'm getting off track. Amanda and Jason venture into different realities, a wooded forest, water world, post-apocalypse with ash falling, losing the box and almost dying in the frozen tundra world. Interestingly enough, the frozen tundra showed what looked like a dead cat, more than likely playing with the concept of Schrodinger's cat. So don't be surprised if we see an alive cat in a future episode or world. Another thing is the building that they arrive in is Farrell Brothers Building and Loan, which may be a subtle nod to Bailey Brothers Building and Loan from the 1946 film It's a Wonderful Life, in that the movie had a plot beat involving showing the main character a world where they never existed. You see the similarities? But the most important thing that the pair learns is that their mind, thoughts, and feelings are essentially the controls of the box. Whatever they are feeling or thinking at that time can directly or subconsciously translate into what's on the other side of the door. Examples are when Jason mentioned that they need food and water, only to open the door to massive waves, and Amanda feeling trapped and helpless, leading to the frozen tundra land. This is a major discovery and advantage for them. I did have to laugh though when it was like their third attempt and Jason thinks that they made it back to their original universe. Yeah, endless possibilities, third time's a charm. Switching over to Jason 2, we're quickly learning this Jason is much more of a risk taker, having Charlie speed through the same intersection from episode 1 where he and Jason were almost hit, along with him quitting his teaching job just because. I did find it interesting that no one in the classroom had paper, which catches Jason 2 off guard a bit because, I don't know, maybe in his universe, like, tablets aren't readily available? Anyway, Jason 2's mission is money and never having to work again. Amen, brother, right there with you. This idea comes to him when he's driving to school with Charlie and him mentioning that the car kinda sucks, which leads Jason 2 to hit up Leighton in this universe, of which he is not the brilliant tech mogul like we saw in Universe 2. Instead, this Leighton is a rich trust fund burnout. The reason so is because unlike Universe 2, his parents didn't die. It was instead his grandfather. Jason is after investing, aka just money, so he doesn't have to work, but I think there is much more up his sleeve than we know when talking to Leighton. Because Jason too shows all of his cards. He shows Leighton the box, the Lavender Fairy, how it all works along with other universes, specifically one where his grandfather is alive, of which we can assume because Leighton acknowledges someone being alive after leaving one of the random universes. This bored Leighton is getting the keys to endless possibilities, and in return, I'm guessing Jason too will get a massive payday. But I believe that there are maybe two reasons for this: to siphon funding from Ryan, who I'm assuming would create the box in this universe, and Leighton said that that was already his initial investor, and maybe a way to get rid of Leighton or have him on his side. The reason I say this is because there are a couple of different Leightons traveling the multiverse looking for him. The Leighton from Universe 2, and now I'm assuming the one from the universe where he caught the doubles intruding. Maybe Jason 2 knows Leighton always catches him, so why not be buddy-buddy with him, get some money, and then send him on his way? I don't know, let me know your thoughts and theories on Jason 2 and possibly manipulating Leighton 1. Speaking of Leighton, he dives into the box after Jason 1 and Amanda, but he doesn't have a damn clue how the box works, as we see him aimlessly opening doors, hurt and bleeding by the end of this episode. I'm of a few different minds here. Either he's going to die in the box, or he's going to somehow team up with other versions of him from different universes who are also hunting down Jason and Amanda. One big reason why I suggest this is that the latter is because Leighton seems to have a universal curiosity trait about him. Universe 2, he's developing the box and goes in like it's nothing. Universe 1, after a brief conversation with Jason 2, he has the same go-get-'em mentality. So either a Leighton multiversal police squad is forming, or this is hinting at every version of a person having a set of unique qualities that are shared amongst every version of them. Lastly, with it being Charlie's birthday, we get an inside look into his birthday tradition of remembering Max Desson, Charlie's twin, who unfortunately passed away when the two were children, that Jason 2 learned about last week with the two different birth certificates. This is an emotional time in their lives, learning Charlie and Max were inseparable, but due to heart complications and multiple surgeries, he passed on. Jason 2 misses this because he's new, he didn't know, which now puts Charlie and Daniela in the same corner of not really trusting Jason. They clearly know something is off, but just like everything else, he's just throwing money at this to fix the situation by buying Charlie a new vehicle. This brings Charlie back into Jason 2's corner, but Daniela is even more suspicious and honestly pissed. He quit his job, bought this car without even a conversation, but tells her not to worry because of an investor, aka Leighton. Now I see Daniela getting more and more suspicious and maybe stumbling upon some of Jason 2's secrets, potentially following him to the box or to him and Leighton meeting, or Jason 2 is going to go real crazy, show his hands, and tells Daniela everything. Tempts and persuades her that there is a universe out there where Max is still alive and takes her there. Maybe that's a season 1 cliffhanger. I honestly have no idea how long this season will continue, if there will be multiple seasons, but yeah, some big things are about to happen. So far, the series is getting complicated, with it actually being fairly easy to follow. The one thing I was skeptical about is how many of these other universes would they be venturing into, and so far, it's just a tease. I hope that they fully explore some of these in future episodes, but I wanted like hard sci-fi, weird creatures and all. Luckily, we did get a tease of that in whatever the heck universe this was, so bring on the wackiness of the multiverse. Let me know your thoughts on episode 4, what were you thinking of Dark Matter overall, and what theories you have leading into next week's episode. Drop everything in the comments below. And again, thank you everyone as always for watching, liking, commenting, everything. The support is really helping me continue creating, following the dream. You know, you get it all. You're the bestest though. Seriously, now go enjoy your week and weekend.